We're going to see if it shows something now. Because I chose the same content name or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, family. Y'all know what they going to do. I keep telling y'all they going to make it to where just shortly, maybe y'all won't be able to. We going to have to find another way. That's why I be telling y'all don't get comfortable over here and don't let this be the only place you come looking for me. You'll need to look for me in other places. You'll need to have all of the other ways because we can go live on our website and things like that. But if this goes away, I mean, if you only come here, then don't be talking about I've been looking for you on TikTok. Well, you shouldn't have. You know all the other places to go find me. So I don't be wanting to hear that no more. I do not be wanting to hear that at all. I don't. They playing on YouTube. YouTube, go on and put it out there that I'm live. Please and thank you. Raggedy Sales. Back to what I was saying. This right here. It'll keep you good till lunchtime. That right there will keep you good till lunchtime. You said I got your website on. It's working now. Okay, thank you, Honeybee Mindset. I probably just had to change the name. See, can you shall find? I'm trying to tell you what. Every time that something happens to TikTok and people like, I've been looking for you. Did you go anywhere else? Because you know I be talking to 2 screens every day. So I just be wondering, was you really looking for me? You got to go into a new one. I named the new one Animals. Yeah. I named the new YouTube Animals. Probably go out and go back in. Come on, Mari. Come back over here. It's working. Hi, Mari. So, it's back. They be playing. Listen. And this is why I just didn't get on early because I didn't want to be frustrated early in the morning. You hear me? I didn't want to be frustrated early in the morning, so it is what it is. But good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening. Whatever it is. Good middle of the night, hell, wherever you at. Can I tell y'all something that I saw yesterday that put a fire in my stomach? And I thought about it today, and it put that same fire in my stomach. Y'all want to know? Do y'all know people be searching CERCA TROVA false prophet on TikTok? That is a real search thing that comes up with my name. So somebody searched CERCA TROVA false prophet. Well, I wonder if they went and searched my YouTube to see what all I said in 22 and 23. That's crazy. Did you go watch the 1,000 or so classes that I did that told everything that's happening right now? I got proof. Not only do I have proof on the internet, I have proof in my journals from over a decade of what God told me what was going to happen. I have proof on other social medias that I had with time and date stamps. God don't leave me without no witness. And you know what's mind-blowing to me? I'm going to tell you what's mind-blowing to me. For real. They are sadly mistaken. Come on. I got receipts. I do. I always have receipts. Keep receipts. But then, too, why would I be a false prophet? Because I'm telling you everything that's coming your way. Because it ain't houses and cars. Because it ain't the world is hello. Because it's not the world is flowers and unicorns putting glitter dust. You would want your pastor, minister, bishop, apostle to tell you what's coming. You would want them to do that. And I don't be caring if people say, oh, whatever. Okay, but my folks be ready. We have several people around the world, not just in the United States, around the world that were prepared for natural disasters because of what they heard here every day. There are children that did not have to be scared. There are children that don't have to be hungry, cold, bored. What do you mean? I'm not going to prophesy to you about houses and cars. I'm not going to prophesy because the world ain't going that way. I'm going to tell you what God told me to tell you so you can be okay. That is my job. I am not a modern prophetess or whatever. I don't care. You going to hear it? Because I'm not standing up in judgment with all these souls. Just think, if I let people talk to me and people are like, oh, she needs somebody over her, or she don't, whatever. Hold up. Who did Moses answer to? Who did Noah answer to? Who was over the prophets? Because I could have swore God took the prophets to the leaders. You hear me? The only intercessor I need in real life is God, is Jesus. Now, I'm not saying God won't put nobody over me or nothing, because I got my godmama, whatever. But people be killing me because you don't want to be a part of their organization. That God, I don't need a whole bunch of ministers to speak to me to tell me what God is saying, because I have a personal relationship with God. And if I had listened to the ministers of those organizations, I would never be here to teach y'all, because they told me God was not using me. They told me God was not speaking to me. They told me God didn't want me reading all these books and studying all the things that I studied. That's what the organization told me. That's what the ministers that I knew my whole life, that I used to go and sit under their preaching, that's what they told me. But they still, God is not giving them the revelations that he gave me either. You hear me? They still don't know when when Eve died. They still don't know that the sons of God are not people. They cannot break down to you why we have genetic disorders. So had I have listened to these people, I wouldn't be able to help all the people that I've been able to help through God's help to me. People don't understand that before anybody even knew who I was praying for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding all the time. I'm not going to tell you that the world is getting better. That's a lie. I'm not going to tell you that you don't got nothing to worry about. That's a lie. As a matter of fact, those things go against what God said is going to happen now. I'm not a people pleaser, ain't never been one, and that's why y'all always see me by myself. Understand. It's a lot of people out here prophesying stuff that ain't got nothing to do with what's about to happen. What's important is making sure you're ready, because the alarm is going out. For that baby, and she used her 24630, I don't know, or he, to say, because I've been here and because I listened, I was ready for burial. You know how many times I done read that? You know how many times in the last month, 3 weeks, whatever I have read, I was ready for burial. I was ready for the blackout that came last summer. I was ready. We 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 was ready. So what part of that is false prophecy? How many pastors you heard telling you for 3 weeks, make sure you got lights, and it ain't like I just started saying it. God has been giving us every single thing that we need before the news, national or international, could tell us. And that's false prophecy. We knew that Joe Biden was going to step down before they made it news. We knew that there was going to be an attempt on someone in the presidential race because God let us talk about it in class. We knew that the eggs was going to be an issue and they was going up. The water, the food, the meat was going to go bad. We knew about the droughts that were coming. We knew the vegetable. We knew. This ain't nothing we had to wait and see it on the news. We was already prepped for it. Because we ain't been wasting no money. We ain't been tricking off no money. The cattle and the famine. Did we or did we not, sis? So because I'm not prophesying all this money to you and telling you you about to ball out, no, because that would be stupid. I'm telling you to not waste no money, only spend money on the things that are important, because guess what? If y'all couldn't see from this Microsoft thing that just happened, honey, they was not giving a damn that you couldn't work. What if that happened for a week? How was you going to pay your bills? What was you going to go buy and you ain't got no hours? What was you going to buy and you can't get no cash? Did we not talk about that here? Before you're not able to access cash, before cash is no good, before things are too expensive, 2 to 3 times more expensive, go get it now. I have begged people for over 2.5 years to go to food banks, to go to churches and stand in line, to go get their OTC card so that they can have some extra money to pay their bills, to go buy gas masks. It ain't nothing else I can say. Every day I have been here just about for almost 3 years. And I'm not making this about me. I'm saying false prophets prophesy things that go against what God is saying is coming. There are pastors and ministers and bishops prophesying wealth on people while the world is in an economic crash. While the housing market is crashing, they are telling you to go buy $1 million home. See, let me tell you what the difference is. We read yesterday about Joseph, who was a wise prophet. And you know what he did? He told him, he said, look, bro, handle your business. Take a fifth of this and a fifth of that and cut back so that you can have enough when stuff ain't here. I believe that's what we've been talking about for 2.5 years. Prepare for the days that are coming. Prepare for the unseen. Prepare for everything you know is normal not being normal anymore. I'm sorry, that's drab and scary, but guess what? It's already popping off. Every single thing that God told us about communication, about the cash registers not working, about there being no lights, about the ATMs not working, about things rising. You don't have enough money to pay for what you need. Who remembers me saying the drought is not always that it ain't nothing. Famine ain't always that it ain't nothing. Famine can also be that things are so expensive that you cannot buy enough. Y'all remember us having that conversation in 22? I said famine don't gotta be that. It could be a whole bunch of stuff, but that don't mean you can afford it. And 2 years later, your grocery bill is 2 to 3 times what it was for less. We talked about that. I need you to understand that the people that God called, they don't always say what you want to hear. Matter of fact, a lot of times they saying what you don't. They saying what you don't want to think about. Because in order to be prepared, you have to think about what hasn't happened yet. My question to you is, do the animals know? A true prophet is always going to say what need to be said. This is why I done had to fight my way out of churches, got put out, fight my way out of houses, because, baby, what you not going to do, I'm going to tell. That's why I don't got no friends. I told y'all I quit talking to one of my friends because she was taunting a person And I said, you're doing witchcraft now. You need to stop doing that. You're doing this, you're doing that. This is a friend of mine for years and years and years and years. But I still had to tell her. She didn't talk to me for a long time. I can't go to hell because you won't listen. I cannot be an eternal. I understand, well, a little bit about eternity. Do you understand? You can go to hell with your friends, or you can go to heaven with some folks you never met. Make up your mind. You can go to hell with your family, or you can go to heaven with some folks you never met. I'm taking the folks I never met for 200, Alex. I'm not loyal to nothing and nobody if they ain't trying to go in the same way I'm going, baby. I don't care who you is. I'm not covering for you. I'm not lying for you. I'm not doing anything. No. I only get one soul, and I only get one chance at this life. And there were things that God mandated me to do before I ever even got here. You can do every single thing you want to in your life. You can accomplish every single thing that you want to accomplish. But if you never accomplish anything that God put in your book for you to do, your life was a loss. You might have lived well, but you're not going to live well on the other side. Every single thing that you see around you is going to be burned by heaven fire. Just like it was destroyed by the waters of heaven. All of these grand buildings and homes and chariots and gold embossed this and that, and it was all destroyed by something as simple as water. Water. The same thing that you needed to live is the same thing that took you out. Where everybody wants to be hot and on fire now, and a star. Well, stars are balls of gas, or did you not know? They are flaming balls of gas, burning. God talked about how the stars fell and they polluted themselves. So be careful what you're saying. Be careful what you want to do. Because God said the gods of this world, the idols of this world, and the stars going to be set on fire. Like the real stars are balls of gas. You can finally see everyone's comments. That's so crazy. They be playing in here. You heard me. You can play with your soul if you want to. You can play with your life if you want to. I don't care. Because when I shed this skin, baby, listen, y'all already know how I feel about this. I love y'all. But that's exactly why I told y'all in the beginning of this, if you are looking for a person to say what you want to hear, you'll need to exit now. I'm going to say all of the ugly, and I'm going to say all of the things that you all don't want to hear. It's okay. That's my job, and I'm used to it. I have been ridiculed. Okay? I've been called a witch, false prophet, you name it. I done heard all the names. But that does not mean that the things that God told me didn't happen. That's nothing new. A lot of the true prophets were persecuted. God said I would be. You hear me? You said magical school ain't for everyone. Hilarious. You know what, Mari? The devil has been able to hide for too long under what it looks like. We don't talk about what it looks like. We talk about what it is. And that's in every area. Okay? It's in every... They're on my list. You can get them on Amazon. Go in my bio up there to the disaster prepared list or survival list. Look through there. Even look through the book list because I put them in there. I also have a video on YouTube, CERCA Trova 22 on YouTube about survival. You're welcome. And survival 2.0. And I go through all the stuff that I think you need. No, I'm not a survivalist, but God ain't let us wrong yet. So, You said we love it here, sis. If you changed up now, we'd be lost. Listen, I thought about not saying nothing about nothing no more. And God said, oh, yeah? See how that's going to work out for you. See how that's going to work out for you. There's no way that I can know that people are going to be... I couldn't. That ain't in my DNA, baby. I can't sit back and watch nobody get backdoored or whatever. I ain't going to be able to do it. If I know some trouble is coming, I might not say what's coming. I'll be like, hey, you might want to shake the spot, though. You might want to go ahead and shake the spot. You know what I'm saying? Go on and get up out of here. What you mean? You can't tell me, hey, you might want to go ahead and shake the spot. Just because a person don't tell you all that they know, don't mean they ain't trying to warn you. Because some people, once they get the information, now they popping out, so I can't even trust you to save your life. Oh, okay. But that it's insane. How do you tell us about watching what we say on and off the internet then? What you mean? God shows us why we need to up. You said we done that plenty of times. I'm trying to tell you. Why are we dealing with such a spiritual battle? Because the end times is here. We're going to read about it. So do y'all believe that history repeats itself? Let's do that. Before we start, who believes that history repeats itself? You're going to need a device, and I'm going to run to the restroom. You're going to need a device. We're on our way to Sacred Text. To the bus, kids. Let's go. As my nephew calls me, CERCA Frizzle in the house. You hear me? CERCA Frizzle is here. We on the magic scuba. Look, go on and get your handy dandy device, and I'll be right back. Listen, we on the magic scubas, baby. So come on in, go get your handy dandy device, your handy dandy notebook, right? Cause we about to. If you believe that history repeats itself, just stay in this class, okay? And if you don't, stay in this class so you can see that it do. I'm about to show you something. Now you're gonna need a pencil and paper if you can. If you're at work driving, it's fine. But if you're at a place where you can get out your notebook, just jot down some notes, time and date, please. Let me ask y'all a question too. Who understands now why I ask y'all to time and date and take notes in our class? Anybody? Y'all understand that I ask y'all to do that so that when you tell people I already knew about this, you can go back to your notes and say, nah, this was our class on 9/22/22 that we studied about this. We already knew. God told us. That's why I be begging y'all to journal and to talk about what's happening, whatever came on the news that's stuck in your spirit. It's not for a reason that it stayed in your mind. God be warning you, and we'll try to shake it out. He like, no, think about it. No, I want you to think about it. I don't want you to get it out of your mind. I don't want you to push it to the back, because if you push it to the back, then you're not going to be prepared for what's coming. I need you to have documentation. I do. And this is why when people say anything to me, I just look at them like they're crazy, because you don't be with me all the time. You don't know the dreams God done woke me up out of and told me to write it down at 2:22 in the morning, 3:33 in the morning, 2:47 in the morning. You wasn't here. But you know what I know? That the people that have come through WOIU, they heard it, so they can't say they didn't know. Do you realize that I am one of the people that if you ever try to say, well, God, I didn't know, nobody told me, that he gonna run these classes back? I'm a part of your story. Whether you want to believe it or not, whether you was focused or not, it went in your subconscious, babe. Do you understand? I'm a part of your story. You won't be able to say, God, I didn't know, nobody ever told me. You're going to be like, TiVo, CERCA, you remember this class? You remember she said? You remember? And y'all read it, and you studied it, and you went into detail. You said you didn't know what? Not the truth. Not the truth. And not only that, she didn't just get up here and tell you and speak from her book and not let you know. She told you to go buy the books so that you could know for yourself. I didn't try to keep the knowledge for myself. I said, no, you need to go get this book, get it online, get it wherever you can get it, because baby, you need to know, because it's your soul on the line, not mine. You said predestined. I love it. We were drawn to you. It's a part of it. We are part of each other's stories. You won't be able to say I didn't know. You won't be able to say I didn't know where to find the information. Lies. Not the truth. You won't be able to say that. That will not be something that you're going to be able to say truthfully. You won't. You won't be able to say that. Who went and watched Noah on Prime? You ain't going to be able to lie in front of God at all. You won't be able to lie. Remember, he said he going to shut your mouth. He going to seal your mouth up and your chest going to speak. And then remember we read that the breath of God resides in your windpipe, basically in between your heart. So it makes sense that he's going, you said, out of the mouth, the heart speaks. Out of the heart, the mouth speaks. Well, he's going to reverse that in heaven. This is going to be sealed and your chest is going to open up. And where his breath resides in your body is then going to tell the story. You watched Noah? And in your muscle memory. Come on. Who watched it? Anybody get all the way through it? Or at least get to the cartoon part? Did y'all get to the cartoon part? Yes, Riz, it is. That's why I'll be telling you, watch your words, girl. We right there together. Our words gonna get us in trouble. Okay, did y'all see the dinosaurs getting on the boat? Who saw the dinosaurs getting on the boat? You seen them? Isn't that interesting? Now, when CERCA said there was dinosaurs on a boat, because I don't got a college degree, folks said I was crazy. They said I needed to go back to school and I needed to quit eating that glass. Okay, which I don't. But amen. That's basically what they tried to say. I was out of my mind and on drugs. And yet, in this very documentary, every single thing about these guys wasn't they sitting there? Was it? Didn't we see this? Some of the first things that we did when we started studying here was the Earth's crust and the types of things that were solidified in the rock. Do you remember we went through this and we were studying geography and we were looking at all of the different rocks and what they could be? Wow. Okay. Y'all remember we were studying this? Y'all remember? We studied the migration of the peoples and when they lived and all of that. Remember? And now in this documentary about Noah, when I told y'all the earth is not billions of years old, I said carbon dating is not reliable. Who remembers that conversation? Y'all remember me telling y'all carbon dating is not reliable? I said the earth is only 7,000 years old. It took 7,000 years to make it, but the age since let there be light is only about 7,000 years. No matter what they tell y'all. Then we went through the calendars. Did we or did we not? And we went through our big green book and showed that some people date the flood at this time. Some people date the flood at this time. It depends on what calendar they're on. It depended on when their people started, of what year it is to them. Y'all remember we went through all of that? And now, scientists and archaeologists and paleontologists and all these different people are saying the same thing I told y'all. And you all saw dinosaurs going into the boat with Noah, which is exactly what we talked about. Remember us talking about the dinosaurs being in the Congo? And then right after I talked to y'all about the Congo, they started burning the Congo down. And I said, because they know that there's dinosaurs in there. Remember the African dinosaurs? Remember the indigenous people still leave rams and goats at the water so certain monsters don't come up out the water in the middle of the Congo. And they said they ain't never been able to get deep enough in the Congo to know what's in there. Y'all remember this? When they talk about only this percentage of the world has been explored, most of that go to the Congo too. Y'all know that, right? They mainly be talking about most of the Congo that they ain't got into. Who's Mighty Joe Young? What's Mighty Joe Young? King Kong? Where they find him at? In Africa, in the Congo or the Amazon. They changed the way the people look for TV, but where did they find him? Interesting. And when he came out, all the other monsters came out, right? Him, the Leviathan, the Phoenix, all of that, right? And then they just made a whole nother movie about all of the mystical beings that have been hidden deep in the earth. And they showed us a world in inner earth. Did they or did they not? Now, when that sinkhole opened up in 22 and they found a whole ecosystem, don't that look like what they just showed us in King Kong, where they was living? Because it sure looked familiar to me when I started watching. This looked like the sinkhole that opened up in Japan. And you know what happened after that sinkhole opened up? A dragon was flying around in Japan. And then they start showing us the dragons was real. Interesting. So the same way it looked in that sinkhole with 200-foot tall trees in the ground, taller than the trees we have up here, with these beautiful ecosystems and animals living down there and rivers and lakes and all of this. You hear me? Then a dragon come out. But they showed us that they come through these portals and holes and they got a whole different ecosystem in the earth. Where did it say? Where did God say he trapped some of the spirits and stuff in the earth, right? Under the earth's crust. And we remember that the giants had the ability to build these huge, beautiful underground cities. So if all of the giants were not on top of the earth and they were in these fortified underground cities and they wasn't affected, they show us in all the shows that they did down in there, and they go in there and it's these big old castles in between the ground in this cave that they never knew. So who was living down there? I must have said something they don't like, because every time I say something they don't like, they want me to verify. Interesting. Because we only been on here 30 minutes. Normally that don't happen in 3 hours. That's crazy. Moving on. We know y'all recording anyway. Didn't they just show us that in Aquaman? Didn't they show us that in Aquaman? When he flew past what it looks exactly like Petra underwater, or Petra. If you go look at the city of Petra and you go back and you look at that picture in the newest Aquaman and look at when he flew under there and they say it looked just like Petra, just underwater. Would Petra have been underwater during the flood? So when the flood was happening, it would have looked exactly like that. I'll be right back. All I'm going to say is, did the animals know? I'll be right back. And then we're going to get on where we going. All right, before I start teaching this class, I'm going to say this to you all. Everybody got they, put your ears up if you're listening. Put your ears up. Put an ear up there. Okay. You might have read this story before. Do not try to teach my class. Don't try to interject stuff that you know is up further on. Just follow along. If you read ahead, leave it in your mind. Because everybody here is grown, and I hate having to tell people, don't try to throw stuff in before I get there because you don't know where I'm going. Okay? So just stay with us. Okay? Because I don't want to see no sorries. I don't want to see none of that. I'm telling y'all now, if you read ahead, keep it to yourself. I love y'all. I don't think I should still be having to say that 2 years later, but amen. All right, here we go. Now, get your handy dandy notebook and go to Jasher Chapter 5 on sacred text, please. Jasher, Jasher. You said you could be the classroom bouncer, but you can't throw people out. We might need one here in a minute. Another thing, and this is not trying to be whatever, but who remembers me telling y'all just a little while ago, and I said a lot of times, that you wasn't going to be able to say the name Jesus without losing your life. Y'all remember us having those conversations? The corner, right. Y'all remember me saying that? I've said it several times. I said, all these church folks, I wonder what they're going to do when they can't say Jesus out loud. I said, and it's going to cost them their life. You remember I told y'all I used to tell my kids, when they say, blah, blah, you want a shot in your hand or your head, you say, I want to go with Jesus. And yes, they're going to get rid of you, but you'll get to go with Jesus. I was teaching my son this 24 years ago. He's now 27. You can do whatever you want. It might read differently. You can do whatever you want, Mr. Avery. It just might read differently. Who remembers me saying that I didn't come on here talking about this is the temple of God? Hallelujah! Thank you, Jesus. We gonna pray and all of that. I said, this is school. People say it feel like church. I said, shh, it's a school. I said, it's a school. You didn't see me put prophetess up there. You didn't see me put nothing, because wisdom, so that you can get out what you need to get out. You hear me? Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you? There's a reason why I said this ain't church. This ain't church. This is school. I'm the dean. This is a university. Now, what we teach in a university sure do sound like church. But it's not a Christian university. It's just a university. You can do the same thing and get an even better result if you allow God to lead you. There are people around the world that are seeking God in a way that they never have. Remember when I told you, I said, even if they only reading it to prove me wrong, God slapping them in their head. Y'all remember me saying that? I said, I don't care. God, they going to read the word one way because they got to go read it to prove me wrong. So either way it go, God is going to get his message out. Y'all remember me saying that? I want you to go read it. I want you to prove me wrong because I know it's not going to happen. You said CERCA, second time in the Holiness Church got called out because I went to sleep. And they don't realize it's going in your subconscious, which means you'll remember it longer, like elevator music. People fall asleep in this class every day. They do all kinds of stuff in this class every day. Long as it's getting in their subconscious, I don't care. You can go to sleep. You can come and go to sleep. Maybe this is the only place that you can sleep. Maybe church is the only place that you feel peace because it's supposed to be the Spirit of God there. I just be trying to figure out why they be trying to control everything. Thank God God don't think like we think, because it would be messed up. He'll fall asleep to the word and still feeds my spirit. I'll have a dream about it. I'm trying to tell you. I was sleeping and answered a question last night. Can you please repeat what we're studying from today? Jasher Chapter 5. Jasher Chapter 5. So with that, they be mad because we know what's going on. That's it. That's all. You hear me? You heard what I said. You're welcome. Here we go. Jasher Chapter 5. Sacred text. Please and thank you. I learned better when my eyes are closed. I believe you, because throughout all the music and shouting I heard him better. I want you to understand, one of the first things that Jesus told people is, come, I'm about to bust y'all head now, and learn of me. Then he wanted you to get baptized. So people walked with Christ for a year, 2 years, 3 years, learning before they ever even went down in Jesus' name. Because they needed to understand why it was wrong and why they needed salvation. Now the roles have switched. They try to hurry up and throw you in the water. So then you're left feeling guilty all the time because you feel like you keep messing up. Well, maybe if y'all quit trying to throw them down in the water and sit with them and teach them and let them sit under the word, then they would understand salvation and they wouldn't mess up as much. How many of you, since you have been here and learning, breaking down the word, precept on precept, your behavior and the things that you allow your body and mind and mouth or whatever to get into is different? You'll need nobody over you saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. The Holy Ghost speaks to your heart because the word is in there now. You remember the stories. And by you remembering the stories, you remember that God's word don't change when it comes to certain stuff. So it is what it is. It happened then, it will happen now. You've been in church most of your life, most of y'all. But you did not care about throwing that thing back, jumping down in nobody's pool, lying, cheating on your taxes, stealing nothing from work. Now you wouldn't dare steal an hour of time from work because you understand how much it costs. The Bible says count up the cost. If somebody put something extra in your basket, you taking it back because you realize it's blocking a blessing. Well, you might not have known that at first and then kept feeling like, oh, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Well, now you know why, and your life ain't got better since you know. You said, see, what had happened was, couldn't figure out why you kept having a hole in your pocket, and it is in the word. I'm anointed and I'm ready for the Lord to be revealed because they want to play with God. Yep. It's a real thing. What Jesus was speaking didn't sound like what everybody else had been speaking before. The day I learned 43 days doesn't cover 1 hour of sin. Tay! I think we was all sick that day. The first time I read it, I was sick too. But the second time I read it, when I read it with y'all, it hit all over again. Right. So when folks is with a boo thing for 72 hours and 43 days of fasting don't get you back 1 hour of sin, baby God, Lord Jesus. And then when we did the math of how long it would take you, and this is why God said there's not enough time for you to ever even pay back your sin. I read it to my bestie the other day. She almost passed out. I'm trying to tell you, baby. That right there changed your whole perspective of doing. You said, I know I was sick that day. Yep. That hit like a ton of bricks, baby. And you want to be out here clowning. Do you? Do you? Hey? You said we needed an update version. You just need to go back and watch it. I don't even know which one it was, but if you know where it is, it's gonna hit the same every time you watch it. You said Baruch 2 did it for me. Yeah, that was the thing. Between Baruch and that, and even Esdras. You hear me? To read what the punishment is, you like, and you want to keep playing, do you, babe? I don't want no parts of it. No, thank you. And when people say, oh, you scared, yeah, because you don't know what's coming if you do that. You right. You're damn right I'm scared. And you're going to have to pay for it a lot longer than you got to enjoy whatever the little thing you're doing right now. I counted up the cost and the cost ain't weighing out. You hear me? That little 15 minutes with somebody, husband or wife. That little 22 minutes you getting to sneak and do, baby, no. You would be scared too if you read it right. That little 22 minutes you get to sneak on the phone and think you're doing something, sending your little pictures. If you knew how much you had to pay for it, baby, you would not be doing that. You hear me? You would not be doing none of that. If you knew that every single thing that you did was going to be on the Jumbotron from Adam to your greasy bald-head grandma, going to get to see your kids, going to know all your filthy acts, your filthy thoughts, what your filthy eyes saw. So when you was telling your girl, I put it on him, girl, I did every little trick I got. Oh, we don't know. We gonna get to see it for ourselves. Because he wasn't your husband. And when he said it's gonna manifest, for everybody to see, wait a minute. Why do you even think that's important to do? We don't need to do all that. You said, where is my helmet? That part. Ooh, you said my stomach hurt. Mm-hmm. You said I'm going to see myself out. Hilarious. Sweating like a Hebrew. You hear me? Baby, y'all better quit playing. laundry, dirty laundry. Oh my God, I just felt my chest drop into my stomach. That part. You said, merely Jesus, Lord, have mercy on me, Jesus. Lord, listen, you didn't grab your face like, wait a minute, hold, ooh. That's when you get my heart. That ugly. Listen, I believe it. Quieter than the church mouse. I'm trying to tell you, want me to sweat in the AC? Thanks. Listen, you gotta get that ugly cry, baby. When God talk about exposing, you said, wait a minute, you don't gotta show him that part, do you? Do you gotta show him that part? Can't we just block that? Now, I'm gonna tell y'all, this is gonna sound so horrible. I do not care if y'all see. The only person, well, okay, my godmama, I do not want her to see. Lord forgive me and my mama, we where we at, but she know. My godmama, my kids, and my grandkids, I do not want them to see. Them is the only people I'm going to be hiding my face from. Y'all, it is what it is. I don't know, y'all. But my kids and my granny son looking at me like, baby, listen. I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for it. Oh, mama, I didn't mean it. Mama, I know I, mama, listen, you said I don't want to remember that part. Woo, my grandkids and my kids, I'm trying to tell you. Listen here. Crazy. I'm just going to take a chair and sit facing the wall in the corner. I'm broke down, Felicia. Right, he gonna say, Granny son, what is wrong with you? It's gonna be so, listen. Who wishes we would have known that prior to? You said, I'm not ready for that, me either. Let me just put my head down. That part like that, can we just not, I mean, it don't have to be all of this. Look, it just started making me sweat. Just think about it. I don't even want to. I was struggling with something, so I went and listened to Second Baruch again. I know that's right. It'll get your whole mind right. Listen, I'm just so glad I found out what I did to pull the emergency brake. Girl. You said I'm just going to go on and tell them now. Listen, Fatima, it might be stuff you forgot about, babe. Listen. They heart racing and say, right, my armpits is sweaty. I got to air that out, boy. It still got hot in here. Ooh, it still got hot in here. Listen, it's getting hot in here. So, I am getting so hot. I need to take my jacket off. Look, no, I don't want it. All right, come on. Ooh, I done start sweating and stuff. My stomach got a puddle in it, baby. Let's get on to the story. I don't even want to talk about it. Moving on. You said I had to take my hair off. It's super hot in here. Hilarious. Not I had to take my hair off. I didn't have to snatch this wig, baby, because I don't want nothing on my neck. You said turn on all my fans. Oh, my goodness. And we ain't going to be able to cover our eyes. Remember it said you're going to shrink down in shame, baby. Hallelujah. You said I'm going to pray for you because you go, listen here. Listen. All right, so come on. Let's get here. Jasher Chapter 5. We in there. Verse 1 says, and it was the 84th year of the life of Noah that Enoch, the son of Seth, died. Y'all know it was 2 Enochs, right? Adam's son Seth had a son named Enoch, and then Jared had a son named Enoch as well. Or Enoch was the dad of Jared, excuse me. One of them ways. No, Jared was the dad of Enoch. Right. Okay. Okay, here we go. It says, and he was 905 years old at his death. And in the 179th year of the life of Noah, Canaan, the son of Enosh, died. So you're understanding that this is describing that all of the first fathers are perishing. Right? Y'all got it? All of the first men. So if you go back to Genesis, I need to get I'm going to get me a regular Bible. I don't even know what I did with both of the regular Bibles I have. I think they're on a shelf or something. Where is my green Bible at? You know what? We're just going to go from the 5 books of Moses. Let's do that. We'll never pull you out. Hi, beautiful book. I know Mom hasn't touched you in a while. It's all right. Y'all see it? Ain't she beautiful? Now, you don't have to go here with me. You can stay where you at. But ain't she gorgeous? Y'all see it? Beautiful book. Beautiful, beautiful book. And again, to those of you that might not know, my copy has this. You see it? And it's different spellings than the ones that you all have. You see how Lamech is spelled here? You see? And Tupel Cain is not spelled with a B, it's spelled with a V. And see how Cain is spelled? You see it? See how Zillah is spelled and Ada? Y'all see it? So when people come in here talking crazy to me, I be trying to tell y'all, they don't know what I have back here on this shelf. And so just because I don't use the words that you want me to use or say what you want me to say, doesn't mean that I don't understand. But what good would it be for me to speak words and languages and names that other people don't understand, and then the word don't go and do what it need to do? You got to be able to speak to everybody. Where can you buy this book? Just type in the 5 books of Moses. This was one of a they only sold so many. I used to have a book angel. They used to buy me very rare and expensive books. And so then these books are over 10, 12 years old that he bought me, you know. But it's called the 5 books of Moses. Yeah. It's not a cheap book. Not saying that you don't got the money. I'm just saying they be expensive. You see, I knew that's why I didn't search for it. I think that book was like 400, 300 or 400, something like that. But they have it in cheaper versions. That's just like a collector's edition, though. You know what I mean? It's a collector's. You can find it in a cheaper version. I mean, and I ain't saying you ain't got $300, $400 to spend. I don't. Thank you, Jesus, that somebody else did. Hallelujah. Anyway. Yes. Yes. Yeah. You can get it. It's just this one was kind of, pricey. But I didn't. God bless me to do, moving on. All right. Here we go. We reading in there, but I'm about to show y'all something. Y'all see that? It say Yahweh said to Cain. Y'all see it? Yahweh said to Cain, why are you so upset? Why has your face fallen? Is it not thus if you intend good and bear it aloft? But if you do not intend good, at the interest is sin, a crouching demon toward you his lust, but you can rule over him. And Cain said to Hevel, not Abel, his brother. But then it was when they were out on the field. You hear me? You see it? Who remembers me telling you got to look for the correct spellings and they be playing word games with these letters? I be trying to put y'all on without putting your ass in, but yeah, that's all people like trying to argue with me. Just because you don't know they the same people. Be quiet. Hush your lips. You said I love it here. All right, me too, and too. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna show y'all some other stuff eventually. All right. Okay. Here we go. You didn't hear me say the 5 books of Moses. You might not have been in here for that part. And it's normally, can you please tell me the name of that book? God, use your manners here. I ignore things. And that's the real thing. Oh, you just got on. Oh, okay, sorry. All right, here we go. So Cain knew his wife, right? I ain't going to be able to read it in this one. Hold on. Where is my... There it is right there. Because we're going to put this right there. Because I don't want nobody arguing with me today. Okay. Here we go. It says Adam and humped on his wife, and then he begot us 2 sons, Cain and Abel. And then they had Seth, right? And then they had Enos. Seth had Enos, and Seth then Enos had Canaan, and then Enos lived and he begat Canaan, right? So and Enos lived 89 years and begat Canaan, and we know that. And then Canaan lived, right? And then he begot Mahalalel, and Mahalalel died. And then who was it after that? Jared, right? And then Jared lived 162 years and begot the other Enoch. And then Jared lived. So it just goes all the way down to Methuselah, right? Y'all get me? And then Lamech. So it's Methuselah and Lamech and then Noah, right? Y'all hear me? So why did it stop at Noah? It's an easy question. Exactly. Exactly. Now, were there other people besides the people that are living on, that are listed here? Were there a lot of other people already living on earth? Not before Adam and Eve, but after Adam and Eve. Because all the brothers and sisters that all of these people are having are not listed. Adam and Eve either had 53 or 63 other children. So there's 50 or 60 or 49, 59 other lines that we know nothing about. This Bible only shows you the line that was going to bring Jesus through it. But there was 50 other lines of people, 50 or 60 other lines of people just in the first few generations that probably had 50 or 60 kids apiece. Where do I get what information? From the book of the Jubilees. The book of the Jubilees gives you the line of Adam and Eve. their daughters when Eve died. The book of Adam and Eve tells you see here, the descendants of Adam. It's a very good book. See this here? And it tells you which brother married which sister and how many kids they had and all of that. It doesn't go all the way into detail, but it does a lot. You see? This. Because if you go to Genesis right now, if you go to Genesis right now, never tells you when Eve died. Our Bible never says when Eve dies. It never says anything. After she messed up and bore them kids, you don't see nothing else about her. It just say he had sons and daughters, and that's it. You hear me? The KJV never tells you when Eve died. It never said it. It said Adam died. It never tell you when Eve died. Never, ever, ever. It's not in there anywhere. Doesn't tell you the name of their daughters or anything. You said I was just looking for this. Oh, okay. You're welcome. There you go. Here we go. So we know all of those were the first fathers, right? There was other first fathers, but these were the first fathers that we know of, right? Eric, go away. If you know, matter of fact, let me show you. This for you, Eric Flores. Where is it? Right there. If you know it all, go teach on your own page. Don't try to teach my class. That's for you. Called you good now because you wanted some stuff. So there you go. If you know so much and you have so much information, instead of interrupting my class, what you need to do is go teach your own. Thanks. I just be wondering why when people have the same, what's the name that I do, they come in here trying to teach. You got the same TikTok. Go put all your information on your page. People will listen. They will. They will listen to you. That's what I do. I just teach what I know on my page. I don't go on nobody else's page telling them nothing because I'm trying to get out everything I know. That be all. Moving on. Hello. I'm not here to argue with nobody. I want y'all to know that. I don't care if you believe it or not. It doesn't matter. I know it. And I've already done my research. With all these damn books I got back here. You think that I only get... See, let me say this to you too. Be careful of people that only look at a certain view from one way. If the Bible tells me that the Israelites interacted with the Palestinians, with the Assyrians, with the Babylonians, with the Japanese, then what I would need to do is go over to those histories and see if they have a record of it. Because guess what? They do. Just like the Egyptian literature have notes of how many people and what happened, they have it in the Bible. That's not the only place that they have it. You have to understand that people migrated out of Africa to other places and they took their books with them. But at the Tower of Babel, the names were changed. So if you can't comprehend that and understand that he didn't change the stories, he just changed the language, so the names are different, that don't got nothing to do with me. That's absolutely, I'm not here to argue with nobody because I understand the story. I understand that it wasn't nobody that had it first. They was all the same people. If you believe that the Bible said men spread out over the earth and they conquered the earth and they did these things, then why is it even anything to argue about? You said I found hella info in Islam books. Okay. And so while we got the Quran backed up in 3 different languages. We got the Septuagint. We got the 5 books of Moses. We got all kinds of stuff back here because in order to understand, you got to... People be crazy. I'm not trying to argue with you. I don't care. Moving on. Here we go. So it says, and in the 179th year of the life of Noah, Canaan the son of Enosh died, and all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And in the 234th year of the life of Noah, Mahalalel, the son of Canaan, died. And the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And Jared, the son of Mahalalel, died in those days in the 366th year of the life of Noah. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And all who followed the Lord died in those days before they saw the evil which God declared to do upon earth. So God let all the first men that were still living, that had been alive at the beginning and seen the earth prior to it being corrupted by the fallen angels. They saw the beauty of the garden. They saw the beauty of the world. God let all of the first men, the ones that made all of our inventions and started literature and started building, all the ones that started the world, he let them die before the flood. The forefathers, the true forefathers, the ones that are mentioned, they all died off. Interesting. Okay? And not too far before the flood. This is the thing. Here we go. So, it says, and after the lapse of many years, in the 480th year of the life of Noah, when all those men who followed the Lord had died away from amongst the sons of men, and Methuselah was left, God said unto Noah and Methuselah, saying, Speak ye, and proclaim to the sons of men, saying, Thus says the Lord, return from your evil ways, and forsake your works, and the Lord will repent of the evil that he declared to do to you, so that it shall not come to pass. What does that mean? What does that mean? He already made up in his mind what he want to do. He already came up with the idea. He said, if y'all can change, I'm not going to do what I'm thinking about doing. I already got a plan, but I can undo it. I don't want to, but I got to if y'all won't change. Oh. It says, for thus saith the Lord, behold, I give you a period of 120 years. Stop right there. See the way that it's described in our Bible is that God would only let us live for 120 years. No, he gave them 120 years to change. They knew exactly how many years they had to change. This is at a time when people were living 900, 700, 600, 500, 400 years. He didn't already let you live 700 sinful. He didn't already let you live 300 years without acknowledging him. He didn't already let you live 922 years and you still want to acknowledge him as God. And then on top of that, here we go now. Remember I said, if you prepared, you don't got to be scared. I got that from my homeboy, my great-grandpa, Uncle Noah. He said, I'm giving you 120 years because I know sin don't stop overnight. So if I can give you 12 decades, 12 decades he gave them. 10 is judgment. 12 is authority. He gave y'all 12 decades to change. You know how many children were born in that time? 12 decades is a long time to change. 12 decades is he understands sin don't stop overnight. You've been used to it. You got to get rid of your little hot thing. You got to, okay, I'm going to give you time. 12 decades is a long time. He didn't have to tell him nothing. He could have just did it. He could have said, oh, I'll give you about 100 years. He gave them the exact number of years until destruction. Kind of like our doomsday clock. He gave them a doomsday clock too. He said, you got 120 years until D-Day. All the hair on my body is standing up. 120 years until D-Day. Get that in your head. You said, wow, this deep. It took us 12 years to get it right. Now we married and we didn't know the truth before. History repeating itself, you said, because our time is shortened. Okay, thank you for telling the truth. You heard that? It took us 12 years to get ready, but now we married and we didn't know the truth before. Come on now. Come on. Interesting. How you going to call God unjust and he gave folks 12 decades to change? That's all over the world. That's in China. That's in Japan. That's in Turkey. That's in Assyria. That was in Africa. That was everywhere. It was still Pangea. So you could go over to Japan. He wasn't just telling the Israelites. He was telling everybody. You hear me? You got it? Let's go. Ooh, wee. He said, if you will turn to me and forsake your evil ways, then I will also turn from the evil which I told you. And it shall not exist, says the Lord. And Noah and Methuselah spoke all the words of the Lord to the sons of men. Here we go. Day after day. This is where I step in. I'm going to say I'm going to be a portion of a Noah in this day and age. Every day I get on here and tell you, this is what is coming. Hurry up and get your stuff. Please change your way. Please stop stealing. Please don't cheat on your wife. Please don't cheat on your husband. Please don't cheat your job. Please be kind every day. So when God was telling me 2.5 years ago, for such a time as this, for such a time as this, I didn't understand. Oh, I understand now. Just like he was telling Noah, for such a time as this, I need you to get out every single day. They gonna throw food at you. They gonna laugh at you. They gonna throw wine at you. They gonna try to jump on you for the stuff that you saying. They gonna call you crazy. They gonna call you a false prophet. And then they gonna say, you keep seeing stuff ain't happen, but where is it? It ain't happened yet. You know how many times I done heard that? It's a person that comes in here on my live and they know who I'm talking about. And yes, I be seeing you, sir. And you be talking real crazy. I remember you talk real crazy to me, but you still be in my classes. And yes, I love you and always will for everything you did for me. But sir, it's happening right now. You remember our last conversation? If you went here, it's happening. And I know you see it. That's why you be over here. Love you. A friend of mine for almost 20 years. I feel it. I said, I'm not about to keep arguing with you. It don't matter. And then you calling me crazy too, and you done seen too many things that I told you come to pass. Come to pass. Like, for real. In real life. Love you. Because for me to be wrong while you be in my class, I don't understand. Almost every day. I would not be listening to a crazy person if I were you. Moving on. Here we go. And I'm telling y'all the truth. And constantly speaking to them. Do I be constantly speaking to y'all? Do I be constantly telling y'all this is coming, whether you ain't seen it or not? It's still gonna happen. Because God is not a liar, and he is giving people time to get their stuff right. Noah was not building up riches for himself. He was not trying to build no fat A house. He wasn't trying to get all the chariots he could get. You know why? Because he knew everything was about to be destroyed. But the most valuable thing on earth, which was God people, he was trying to wrangle them up. He was trying to load up on as many souls as he could before D-Day came. It was Pangea. So I'm sure God took him all around the world and told people. I'm sure he didn't just leave them there. That God is a just God. And even if he didn't leave, he probably had Noah sending people out. But you know how I know that he didn't just talk to the Israelites or the people that was in that area? You want to know how I know that he told the sinners too, and it wasn't necessarily through Noah? I'm gonna show you in this book right here. This one. It's a book called the Book of the Giants in here. And in the Book of the Giants, it says that the giants were having dreams about the flood. And they went to Enoch. See, more dreams afflict the giants. The details of this vision are obscure, but he had a dream. Okay? And it was a whole bunch of water. Okay? So not only did he go to Enoch before, not only did he go to Methuselah and Noah, he also let the reprobates, the children of the angels know that a flood was coming. And they flew to Enoch and said, what's up with this? He said, oh yeah, all y'all gonna die and your daddies and stuff is gonna die. So he says, I reign on the just as well as the unjust. That means he even gave the reprobates, his grandchildren from the fallen angels, the time to turn to him, or at least try to understand and acknowledge him as God. What you mean he didn't tell everybody? Sure he did. He would be an unjust God not to tell everybody, and he did. He had the giants, the Nephilim, having dreams that they were all going to be wiped out. Yes, I do, Dee. They're up in my bio. No, Enoch was taken prior to that. But he warned them, though. Listen. It says, I am a giant. This is either Gilgamesh or Hobabish, they say. So it says, I am a giant, and by the mighty strength of my arm and my own strength, I went up against all mortals. And I have made war against them, but I am not able to stand against them, for my opponents are angels who reside in heaven, and they dwell in the holy places. And are they not stronger than I? And of the wild beasts has come, and the wild man they call me. Then Ohio said to him, my dream disturbed me. The sleep of my eyes vanished to let me see a vision. And now I know that because of the vision, I will not sleep and I will not hasten. And Gilgamesh then said something about your dream. So they talk about how they need to go. And here we go. Here go the dream of the giants. So it says, thereupon two of them had dreams, and the sleep of their eyes fled from them, and they arose and opened their eyes and came to and told their dreams in an assembly of their comrades, the monsters. In my dream, I was watching this very night, and there was a great garden, gardeners, and they were watering every tree in the garden. 200 trees and large shoots came out of their roots. And then it says, with flames of fire, heaven and all the waters, and fire burned in all the earth. And this was the end of the dream. And the giants were not able to tell him his dream. And so it says, someone suggested Enoch be found to interpret the vision. This dream you should tell to Enoch, the noted scribe, and he will interpret for us the dream. Thereupon his brother Ohio, or Ohio, this is where we get our word. Mind you, this is Pangea. Ohio is named after the angel Barachiel's son, Ohio, Ohya. And if you look it up, they said Ohio is the giant valley. It's the Amorite Valley. The Amorites were a race of giants, and they found all the giant mounds and all the giant bones there. Ohio was named after Barachiel's son, Ohio. Okay? So God didn't just tell the humans, he told the Nephilim as well. And they went because they wasn't crazy. They mamas was human. So everybody knew about Enoch. Enoch was a king. Do you hear me? Did Enoch write what book? This whole one? Mm-hmm. He wrote a lot of books, 366 to be exact. Interesting. The book of Enoch is in here as well, but this is not the only place I have it. I have it several places. Here we go. So, it says, this dream you should tell to Enoch, the noted scribe, and he will interpret for us the dream. Thereupon his brother Ohio declared and said to the giants, I too had a dream this night, O giants, and behold, the ruler of heaven came down to earth, and thrones, what are thrones? What are thrones? Angels! Angels! So this is why Game of Thrones is so important. You hear me? This is why the Game of the Thrones is so important, because the fallen angels and their children became the rulers, the conquerors, and the leaders. Yeah. Because remember, the angels wanted to rule over God's people, and they became the kings. This is why I told y'all the book of Kings is so important. The game of the angels for rule over the earth. Right. Interesting. Yes. I keep telling y'all Game of Thrones is the Bible. Nobody keep listening to me. You said I'm hurting you. This is me. Okay, thank you. It says, all right. And thrones were set out, and the great and holy ones sat, were serving him 1,000 thousands, and before him were standing, behold, and were open. A judgment were uttered. Judgment was uttered, and judgment was written and signed with the mark. And all that lived and everything mortal, that was the end of the dream. Thereupon all the giants and monsters grew afraid and called Mayway, and he came to them. And the giants sent him to Enoch, the noted scribe, and they said to him, go, and then to you that you have heard his voice. And he said to him, he will tell you the meaning of the dreams, and that all in truth. Truly, because this is broken up, y'all, they brought and request for the mercy of the giants. So it says, after a cosmic journey, Mayway comes to Enoch. It said, Mayway mounted up in the air like strong winds, and flew with his hands like an eagle. Where's my book? It's probably not in the place that it should be, but let's look for it. Here we go. Is this it? No, where's my other one? It might be in my room, y'all. Do y'all see it and I can't see it? Oh, where is it? Oh, jeez. Slow down, chill. I need a library assistant. That's it. I need a library assistant. I need you to go and get my stuff. Where is my book, though? Am I not seeing it? It's right in my face, I feel. Well, we just gonna use this one. No, can't use that one. Where is it? Y'all, it is probably right in my face. Anyway, these people were on earth. I don't know where it is. I can't see it. I do need one. These people, these were the rulers, right? These are the gods. The pagan gods at war with Israel's God in the spiritual world of the Bible. I need my other one where it talks about the battle of the sea, but I don't know where it is. It's not in place, or I'm just looking too fast. We'll get over it. Anyway, sorry y'all on YouTube. These is the rulers. These was the kings. Okay, these were the kings, right? Here we go. All right. So it says, Mayway mounted up on the air like strong wings and flew with his hands like an eagle. He left behind the inhabited world and passed over desolation, the great desert. And Enoch saw him and hailed him. And Mayway said to him, I was sent hither to a second time to you, and the giants await your words, and all the monsters of the earth. If something had been carried from the days of whatever, and they will be added, and we would know from you their meaning. 200 gardeners that came from heaven. And Enoch sends back a letter. It says, the scribe Enoch, a copy of the second tablet of the letter, in the very handwriting of Enoch, the noted scribe. And in the name of God, the great and holy one, Shem-Yaza and all his companions, let it be known to you that all the things that you have done, and that your wives, and they and their sons, and their wives of their sons, by the licentiousness on the earth, by your licentiousness on the earth, and there has been upon you and of judgment laid out, and the land is crying out and complaining about you and your deed and the deeds of your sons, the harm that you have done unto Raphael, it is reached, and behold, destruction is coming, a great flood, and it will destroy all living things and whatever is in the deserts and in the seas. And the meaning of the matter is following upon you because of your evil. But now loosen the bonds and pray. So the Nephilim, the children of the angels, were warned as well. Humans were warned, and the monsters, and the giants, because the fallen angels did not only create giants, they also created monsters, which is your centaurs, your gorgons, your mermaids, and all of those magical beings. The reason that they were magical is because their fathers came down and taught the secrets of heaven, which was magic, to the people, and they were never supposed to have it, so that they could change God's plan. If you don't like it, change it. Okay? Y'all here? Y'all with me? Yes? 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 Y'all here? Okay. So let's look at this. God warned the sinners of the beast and the fallen angels, and he warned the sons of God and their children, and he warned the sons of men and their children. Is God not yelling out to the sinners right now and to the people that's in the church, get your stuff in order? Everybody is seeing the same. The sinners are seeing the same news as, yeah, magic changed God's plan. Because magic makes people do things against their will, and God gives everything free choice. Yeah, God don't control you, so why can a human do it? Yeah, it's magic. You forcing somebody to do something God don't force. He give every man free will, so magic goes against God's order. Because people use magic to make a person fall in love with them, make a person lose their job, make a person, God didn't ordain that, that person wanted that. Lucifer forces you to sell your soul for stuff. God don't force you to do nothing. He give you a choice. He wants you to want him for him and not for what he got to offer you. Lucifer is like, want me for everything I got to offer you. I'm going to take everything you got and leave you with nothing. They are not the same. Both want to be worshipped, but one of them got your best interest at heart. It depends on how you trying to, what you using. I don't have to use anything to manifest. My manifestation is just prayer. I get on my knees, humble myself before God, and ask Him for what I need. He also says make a record of it. But when you are using divination, rocks, oils, candles, all of that, that's when it becomes divination. Mm-hmm. The devil is always going to take, listen, Lucifer and his fallen angels, they didn't create nothing. They're not creators. They are created beings. So they can only use, like you can only use the hands that God gave you. You can't use nobody else's hands to do nothing. You can only use your hands. Right? You can only use your brain. Right? But then you turn around and you use the good things that God gave you. What that boy said, the oosh-gosh, whoosh-gosh, to sin against God. He gave it to you to produce children. But people say, I'm not going to have no kids, but I'm about to throw this thing back, though. I'm not going to use it for what it's been used, what it's supposed to be used for. I'm going to use it for my pleasure, and that's it. And God did not give you those organs for pleasure. He gave them to you to produce. So you giving a oosh-gosh, boosh-gosh and throwing that thing back, but you don't want to have no kids, you are deliberately going against what God told you to do. He said be fruitful and multiply with them parts. He didn't say nothing about pleasure, babe. And right now, everything is about pleasure. Everything is about pleasure. That's what a plan B is. If it wasn't about pleasure, it wouldn't be no plan Bs. Hallelujah, anyhow. You want the pleasure without the promise, and that ain't how God set it up. The pleasure came with the promise that your life was continued, that your lineage would continue, that what God said. We're going to talk about it. Never mind. We don't have to because we talking about something else. That's another day. Y'all right over there? I feel like some people just got hit in the throat. Y'all all right? I can feel when it gets a little wavy over there. I can feel when it gets a little wavy. The children are the promise that he wasn't going to kill you off. Because if God would have killed Adam off when he sinned, then it wouldn't have been none of us. The promise is, even though you a sinful person, I'm going to let you reproduce so that you can try to get it right the next time. I ain't trying to get nobody pregnant, but I'm sure trying to get my rocks off. Bro, I ain't trying to make her my wife or my baby mama. I'm just trying to get in where I fit in. Oh, I didn't want no kids. I was just trying to have some fun, bro. Oh, okay. Sir? Talk to our dad about that, because you in direct disobedience to the order that he gave the first man. Pleasure is not more important than producing a lineage. It was supposed to make it so you would want to produce more. You heard me? He made sex pleasurable so you will pop them out every 9 months. He said go forth and populate the earth, not pop that coochie, girl. That's not what he said. It was not the same thing. You misheard. Pop that thing so you can pop a baby out of that. You heard me? You've been popping it, but not the right way. Moving on. Kiva. Y'all pop a lot of it, but you don't pop nothing out of it. Direct disobedience. Throw it back with a purpose. You said it. You said it, Sydney. You better be throwing that thing back looking to see something come out of it. You hear me? You said hit right in the throat. You said it hurts. It hurts a little bit. Okay, I'm going to let y'all have a moment with that then, because I got something else. So I ain't going to beat you down too quickly. I'm going to let that simmer. Put this on low. Oh, low is this way. I'm going to put that on low, and then I'm going to let that simmer. So the next time you get ready to go and think that your action, and this is why sexual sin is one of the biggest things that God talks about. Because people are like, oh, they're in the same sex marriage, or they're in this and that. And you take plan Bs. If you feel like they sin is sin, God could say you're an unaliver. Oh, well, the baby never took root. Oh, no, yeah, it did. Remember, you took the plan B so that it couldn't. Remember? So if God wanted a child to be there, and you made the decision, even though God said, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. People would say, oh, well, and I say this too, because it's the truth. 2 women cannot produce a child. 2 men cannot, but they say it trying to be mean. I'm saying it like, understand, okay? But if you are having sexual intercourse and you decide that you do not want to have what is coming out of you, but you had all the fun of it, yeah, you guilty, boo. When God wants you to have a kid, you will. Because he chose, not you. You wanted the pleasure without the promise, and that ain't how God works. That ain't how he moves. That ain't thank you. That ain't how he get down. Do you understand? I know people that had a whole bunch of expalations out of their uterus, and when it was time for them, they couldn't. Because they didn't want no babies, and they didn't want no, and honey, I'm fine, and I don't want this to go away. Oh, that's not new. We're going to read about that too. Because in the days of Jared, when the angels came down and said, she about to be my baby mama, I'm about to tap that, and the cow too. See, the sad part about it is these women felt special. Nigga, he busting down a cow and a horse, and you. The other baby mamas wasn't humans. I would have felt real. How you gonna argue with a cow? How you gonna argue with a fish or a bird? You see this nigga tear this cow up, and that's your husband, though. You gonna stick by him? Because now he got babies with an animal. Your brothers and sisters talking about, hey, what's up, bro? Nah, I was just out running. Nigga, you got you a prize, girl. He banging the animals too. Right. You did something there. Now you got to out-argue with a cow and a dog. She like, and you like, no, you ain't talking crazy to me. It's my man. Got your little dog puppy people walking around. Y'all seen Sweet Tooth? Imagine the other baby mama being an animal. Imagine. Just imagine that you done married this angel, and then he come home and say, baby, I got something to tell you. I got another baby on the way. And he bring a lion in and say she pregnant. And she's going to bear my seed too. This the other baby mama. Let's see who else. Uh-oh. He went on and got him a little Caribbean fish. So this is what your baby sister gonna look like. They can't even play together because one on land and one on water. When they got him a He said, I like mine kind of meaty, boy. I'm going down here with the. I like my cheeks kind of meaty, bro. And she be mooing and stuff. That's how I know I be doing it right. Like, what? Could you imagine having a human kid and then your baby daddy come and be like, and all you see, you're like, what is that? He like, hi, this is your brother. And he got hooves. Baraquiel. Baraquiel, really? I sold my soul for you, Baraquiel, and you gonna get with a cow, and now this is my baby little brother. Look at him. Is that a tail on this nigga? She got udders. Okay. Wait a minute. It's some more brothers and sisters in here. We gonna call him Elon the elephant. So here goes Azaziel. Okay, little mama, I need to tell you something. I know we already had our fight about the cow, okay? But that ain't all. What you mean that ain't all, Azaziel? You done already bought this little cow baby over here. What else you done done? Well, I got another son. His name is Elon, and he an elephant. And he got a couple more arms than I thought. Because, see, we thought we was... But God is showing up in our children, and they coming out a little messed up. You think you can raise him because his mama, she keep running off her and the herd. They won't let him in. So can you raise him? This is not an orphanage for your little baby mamas. You shouldn't have went out and had no babies with no animals, Azaziel. And you think I don't know what your brother Baraquiel did too, but I seen his little cow kids too. They say this lady is crazy. Am I really? Should I save her? I want to be saved. Hold on, let me see how crazy I am. Let me see if I'm really crazy. Let me see. Somebody had a goat brother. Somebody had a goat brother. Somebody did. Somebody had a goat baby mama. Somebody had a puma baby mama. Somebody had a cow baby mama. Somebody, they all had one. Look. A bird baby mama. Them human hands, honey. No. This is all that was alive during Noah's days. So what if your daughter brought him home talking about, Mama, I fell in love? And she like, oh, baby, he make you happy? Yeah, Mama, he make me so happy. He take me to heights I never been before. He a prince too, Mama. Oh, he royalty, girl. Okay, who is it? Prince Berdamon. What's his name? Prince Berdamon. Well, why they naming that? Because he a bird and a man. So his name is Prince Berdamon. He a bird and a man. You hear me? Prince Berdamon. And we going to have little bird babies. That's what we going to do. We going to have little... Don't believe me? What's her girl name? Hathor. What's her name? Isis. Don't she got bird wings and claw feet? But they give her the body of a goddess with her wings on her back. You think she was scratching niggas with them when she was wrapping her legs around their legs? Or was she flying upside down? What she was doing? Because her body looked like Aaliyah's, but her feet don't. Oh, okay. Shake a tail, fella. What you just said. Okay. Carnival. What is Carnival? How do the people look in Carnival? Don't they look like an Egyptian princess? No clothes on their body, just this and this covered, and they be looking like birds? Why would they walk around with bird feathers on their body? While I run to the restroom, y'all go look up pictures of Carnival and tell me what you see. And tell me if you don't see the Egyptian goddess. Don't they damn near be naked? They be naked. They whole cheeks be out and everything. Like a bird. Birds don't wear clothes. They use their feathers to cover them. Oh, okay, well, I'm just trying to see if y'all seeing what I'm seeing so we can see it together. Is there a superhero now that is a bird in Marvel or DC? Is there a superhero that's a bird in Marvel or DC right now? And they spend a lot of money. I was in a troop that we call the sections. Hawkeye and Phoenix. And are they bird people? So even in DC and Marvel, they tell us that this is still the truth. Anybody seen the videos on the internet where they talk about folks got a video of a person flying and they had wings on their arms? And they said it was a CGI? Hey? Huh? Anybody ever seen it? We didn't see videos where it's a real person and they said it was CGI, but it was a person, a human flying with bird wings. We've seen it in our day. And all they gotta do is tell us it's computer generated and we go out. No, even though there's all of this proof that these beings existed. And they existed before the flood, which is where we going with this, okay? So if God said it's going to be just like in the days of Noah, that means whatever was running the earth during Noah's days is going to be running the earth during our days. And these things are coming out. Giants, dragons, fairies, all the stuff that we've been told is as mythology and was before the like anti-diluvian times is showing up right now. Right? Right? So when I just read to you in the book of the Giants and Enoch, when it talks about them going into 200 species of animals, that is what created the monsters, because those two bloodlines was never supposed to mix. But what they did was they tried to do exactly what God did in heaven when he created beings like this. And we talk about this. And then I'm going to get to where I'm going so you can understand why the earth had to be flooded. They tried to recreate this on earth. God created this. This is one being in heaven. Okay? The tetramorph. God created this. So when you see this in depictions on earth, this is angels trying to recreate this. Lion-headed goddesses, eagle-headed goddesses, cow goddesses. They were trying to recreate heaven on earth, literally. But it didn't work out the way they thought. Okay? So these are the beings that were living before the flood. That's why God said, okay, I didn't even let your little monsters live. And y'all still won't do right. The monsters is alive. I don't think so. I don't know for sure. I've never seen that. It could be. I don't remember ever reading it. But then again, I didn't memorize the Bible, so it could be in there. I don't know. Honestly. All right, let's get down through here. Come on. Back to Jasher. So now that we know that God did not only warn the humans, he warned the monsters, the satyrs, the centaurs, the cyclopses, all of those beings that were living prior to the flood, the anti-diluvian period. He warned them. He warned them. Everybody, the sirens, everybody. He warned everybody. He warned the just as well as the unjust that this world is too wicked and I'm getting ready to get rid of it. Okay? Here we go. So it says, and the Lord granted them a period of 120 years, saying, if they will return, then God will repent of the evil, so as to not to destroy the earth. Noah, the son of Lamech, excuse me, refrained from taking a wife in those days to beget children, for he says, surely now God will destroy the earth. Wherefore then shall I beget you? He said, God going to destroy the earth, well, I'm going to have some kids. And Noah was a just man, and he was perfect in his generation. And the Lord chose him to raise up seed from his seed upon the face of the earth. Hold up. I thought Noah was a drunk. Wasn't Noah a drunk? So why God choose a drunk instead of all the holy men that was on the planet to restart the earth? Remember me telling y'all that people that drink a lot be trying to numb a pain and it's on the inside? Could you imagine being shown and walking around, and I've said this before, walking around in every place on the planet you go, you know everything you see is going to be dead? Jasher Chapter 5. And I ain't trying to make nobody sad, but for the next week, you can't even think about being on the highway and everybody knowing everybody in front of you, behind you, for however many miles is gonna be dead. Think about going in a grocery store and everybody you see in that parking lot at the mall gonna be dead, but you and your kids. How happy would you be to be walking around seeing all of these new babies, people getting excited about their babies being born and all of this, and you know for a fact that every single thing, every dog, every horse, every bird, every cow, every ant is going to be dead, and it's only gonna be y'all. You don't think you a drink? You work at an Amazon warehouse. Imagine going in there and only knowing that 8 people is going at the end of the night come out of there. And you gotta walk around like this for 120 years. When you drink, imagine being in the stadium and realizing only you and your family is getting out of there. And when you go out, then everybody out there is going to be dead too. Wouldn't you try to tell every person that you could, listen to me, please change your life because something bad is coming? Would you not? And all the people not listening on top of that, exactly. Noah, you've been saying that for 10 years. Noah, you've been saying that for 20 years. Noah, you was telling my granddaddy that and he dead and gone and it still ain't happened. Noah, I don't want to hear it. You've been saying that for 70 years, Noah. It's 80 years, Noah. It's 90 years, Noah. It's been 100 years. 100 years ago, you was still saying the same thing. And we ain't never seen no rain. It ain't been one rain drop yet. But every night when you go to sleep, all the faces you saw today, you know they won't be breathing. You believe history repeats itself? Even if he would have said it, they wouldn't have believed it. Okay. Y'all believe history repeats itself? It's folks screaming at the top of their lungs, the world is ending. And people like, I don't care, I don't want to hear it. I'm trying to think about my wedding. I'm trying to think about my kids' college. I'm trying to think about, I'm building a new house. I'm trying to think about all of this stuff, getting my 401k together. Okay, that's exactly the Bible said they was going to be giving in marriage, turning up, partying, having a good time, not worried about what God was saying. You mean like right now? But Noah had 120 years to cultivate the best vegetables, to go get all the best seeds, to cultivate clothing. He had 120 years to prepare because he believed what God said. Whether anybody around him did or didn't, he believed it. And so you know what he did? He took to action. That part. I told people don't know. Listen. Okay? Noah had 120 years to get his weight up. Okay. Okay. Here we go. And Noah, we got that. It said, and the Lord said unto Noah, take unto thee a wife and beget children, for I have seen the righteous before me in this generation. And thou shalt raise up seed, and thy children with thee in the midst of the earth. And Noah went and took a wife, and he chose Naamah, the daughter of Enoch. And she was 580 years old. Now it sometimes it'll say Enoch, and sometimes, depending on the version, it'll say a daughter of Lamech. So it's a little discrepancy in there, but we do know her name was Naamah. Whether she was his sister or his cousin, that hasn't been, whatever. Okay, so keep going. All right, here we go. And she was 580 years old. Could you imagine giving birth at 580 for the first time? It's like being 58 now and having your first baby. You didn't live for 580 years and now you got to got them legs back and push out a kid. I'd be tired. You said definitely not. I struggled at 19. That part. 500. Okay. I'm just saying. She was 580 years old when she got married. And Noah was 498 years old when he took Naamah for a wife. So he was almost 500. She was almost 6. You got the book Lamech of Cain? Good job. It's in here somewhere. Or it might be in my room. Very interesting, isn't it? All right. It says, and Naamah conceived and bare a son, and he called his name Japheth, saying, God has enlarged me in the earth. And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Shem, saying, God has made me a remnant to raise up seed in the midst of the earth. And Noah was 502 years old when Naamah bare Shem. And the boys grew up and went into the ways of the Lord in all that Methuselah and Noah their father taught them. And Lamech the father of Noah died in those days. Here we go. Yet verily he did not go with all his heart in the ways of his father, and he died in the 195th year of the life of Noah. Now you just gonna be all in my business, because how do we know Lamech did something and God wouldn't forgive him. Remember? He was going around the earth trying to talk to people, asking people how to get God to speak to him. Remember? Because he was running with the giant Yubal. Remember? Because they killed one of the other Leviathans. So he was going around, and at that time it said God had stopped speaking. There was a period of time where God wouldn't talk to nobody. No prophets, nobody. God was silent. He would not talk. He quit speaking because people wasn't listening. It used to be 2. It wasn't only 1. There's 1 now. What happened? What happened over here? Please don't make me wreck my work truck. Oh, no, Auntie, don't do that. Okay? I thought it was because he was a part of Cain's bloodline. That too, but he did something else. He did something that he couldn't get no forgiveness for. You hear me? And 9 times out of 10, I bet it has something to do with the angels. Now, that part we ain't been able to get into it and find it, but I'm looking. Thank you. Yeah, because he running with the giants. Well, who was they running with? The angels. Remember, he was able to tell his daughter, leave them angels alone. Because she said, it's too late. I've been throwing this thing back, baby. And the little drinks they be having at the party, fire. It be mixed with a little angel blood. We be levitating and stuff on the ceiling. It be pure ecstasy, Dad. I'm sorry, I can't. So how did he know to tell her? Unless he used to be over there with him. Because you remember it said the men didn't even want a woman at that time. They did not want no woman. Remember, it was talking about that, how they would sleep with anything other than a woman. Animals, fish, birds, and men. They didn't want no woman. And you can read that in the book of Lamech of Cain, and it's a couple other places too. They did not want no woman. Women were despised at that time. Oh, you mean like right now? Never mind. Who said that? You said that? Oh, okay. Don't nobody want no woman right now. And they dang sure don't want no woman that look like she didn't have no baby. That's why people get mommy makeovers. Not new. They did that in the book of Jasher as well. The men then didn't want their women to look like they didn't want no stretch marks and saggy boobs. So before they got married, they made their wives drink something, birth control, that would make them barren so that they couldn't have no kids. And so their body always looked like a goddess body. Interesting. But then they would go have children with animals. Interesting. This is why the body of a goddess, people don't even know why they say that. The body of a goddess was, she wasn't pushing out no kids 9 times out of 10. They wanted her to stay looking exactly like she did. You mean like mommy makeovers? They want you to, even though you got kids, they want you to look like you haven't had any? And men, they be like, ugh, my baby mama. I don't know. I don't know for sure. Yeah, it's the same stuff right now. Ain't nothing new. You can read it in Jasher. It said they was disgusted by women that had children. And this was all right before the flood. Interesting. Moving on. Here we go. And Lamech, the father of Noah, died in those days. Okay, 20. And all the days of Lamech were 770 years, and he died. And all the sons of men who knew the Lord died in that year before the Lord brought evil upon them. So the year prior to the flood, the last forefathers died. You hear me? The last year, so in the 119th year, or the 119th going into the 120th year, All of the forefathers, all the people that had lived 900 years, 700 years, the people that are the heads of the races that we see in the 119th to the 120th year, all those people died. They was laid to rest peacefully. Okay? Look at God. He said y'all didn't have to see the evils and the monsters and seeing the earth go from pure to impure. I ain't even gonna make y'all see what's about to happen now. I'm gonna let y'all slide on that. Ain't that crazy? Huh? You think it's nuts? He said y'all didn't have to see the giants eating people and sacrificing babies. I don't want y'all to have to deal with that. I read today in Irish 3. He said what? Yeah. Okay. So here we go. D. Oh, okay. It says, and all the sons of men who knew the Lord died in that year before the Lord brought evil upon them. For the Lord willed them to die, so as to not behold the evil that God would bring upon their brothers and relatives, as he had so declared to do. He said, close your eyes. Or in Kendrick's voice, I'm going to hide the Bible of God watching. But he was God. He said, I'm going to hide y'all. I don't want y'all to see this. Turn your head. He said, I'm going to let you know what I'm about to do to all your brothers and relatives. Y'all read it with your own eyes? He said, your brothers and your relatives. So there were certain people, he let them go on and die so they couldn't even see what was about to happen. He said the rest of them, eyes wide open, so you can see it coming. So imagine walking around, you got 30 brothers and you know they all going to be dead and all these lineage. These people had lived for 700 years. That's not a little bit of people. If they had 50 kids and each of those kids had 50 kids and each of those kids had 50 kids, and do you realize how many people this is? Do you understand the magnitude? My grandfather has about 1,000 descendants right now. My grandfather. So I can only imagine. He had 42, 52 kids. They still kind of iffy about the numbers. Right now in this day, he has over 800 for sure. Right now. And he's dead, but he got over 800 descendants right now. Make it make sense. This man had to walk around and know the people that was in the jungle. Mind you, this is Pangea. So he could go to Japan and know everybody gonna be dead. He could go to Armenia and know everybody gonna be dead. He could go to, you see what I'm saying? It didn't matter what part of the earth he went to. He knew that him and his kids and his wife was gonna be the only people that was gonna make it. You could do that. You could go and travel around the earth for this next 2 years, and every continent that you go to realize ain't nobody gonna be over there but you. You'll be okay in your mind. I am legend, pretty much. Pretty much. New version, I am legend. You said it. He was talking to the whole earth. He wasn't just talking to Israel and ancient Mesopotamia. He was talking to everybody. He had 120 years to spread the word, to go around. Here we go. It says, in that time the Lord said to Noah and Methuselah, stand forth and proclaim to the sons of men all the words that I spoke to you in those days. Peradventure they may turn from their evil ways, and I will repent of the evil and not bring it. And Noah and Methuselah stood forth and said in the ears of the sons of man all that God had spoken concerning them. But the sons of men would not hearken, neither would they incline their ears to all of their declarations. And it was after this that the Lord said to Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, and on account of their evil deeds, and behold, I will destroy the earth. And and do thou take unto thee gopher wood, and go to a certain place, and make a large ark, and place it in that spot. And thus shall make it, and thus thou shalt make it 300 cubits in length, 50 cubits broad, and 30 cubits high. And thou shalt make unto thee a door open at its side, and to a cubit thou shalt finish above, and cover it within and without with pitch. And behold, I will bring the floods of waters upon the earth, and all flesh be destroyed from under the heavens. All that is upon earth shall perish. Keyword. That upon earth is so powerful. Only the stuff on the surface of the earth is going to die. It didn't say in, it said upon. Genesis tells us it was giants after the flood and before the flood. So if giants had already burrowed into the ground, not all of them, but some, then this is how they came out after the flood, isn't it? Because it never said that the angels came down and was sleeping with the women again. So then only the things upon the earth, not in. What they tell y'all about the ice wall, even though we know that ain't the truth, but what they say about the ice wall, what old General Byrd say he found in there? Dinosaurs, triceratopses, and all of that. Ain't that what General Byrd said in the 1900s, early 1900s? Or 1800s, whenever he was flying. It was early 19. Oh, okay. Let me ask you a question. How many wars you saw fought in Antarctica? Interesting. How many wars you seen fought in ancient Mesopotamia, where the giants were created, and where it says they were mountain builders? Many. All of them. What Hillary Clinton say when they found the body of Nimrod? Where was they at? They wasn't behind no ice wall. Where was they at? You don't see archaeologists all day long in the ice wall. Where you see them at? Where you see them going in caves and digging under sand? Where you see them? In Iraq, in in Iraq, which is where the giants lived. So if they built these big old ain't no damn. They showing you ancient Mesopotamia. The land of Jupiter is in ancient Mesopotamia. The land of Andromeda, the land of Saturn, the land of Draco, the land of Mars. All of these are the angels from that constellation coming down. And when they took rule over ancient Mesopotamia in the world, and they made their grand kingdoms and all of that, they keep telling y'all to go look behind the ice wall while they digging up everything in ancient Mesopotamia they can. The gate of Perseus is not even in Rome or whatever over there. Europe is in ancient Mesopotamia. The gate of Perseus is in like close to Iraq and all of that area. Did y'all know that? The gate of Perseus is not. It's not over there. It's in ancient Mesopotamia. So why they got y'all looking for Perseus and all of it, none of it makes any sense. But amen. That's not where they digging. They telling y'all it's in a place, but if you know that the Assyrian and Babylonian kings are actually the Greek gods, then you'll know why they digging in ancient Mesopotamia all the time and not behind the ice wall. Y'all better quit letting these folks lie to y'all. You said throwing the rock across the street so we look across the street. Exactly, I told y'all. That's why we got the big green book where it shows you anytime that you read about. Yeah, anytime you read about the Assyrians and Babylonian kings, I mean the Greek gods, you're actually reading about the Assyrian and Babylonian kings. Oh, okay. So then what ice wall are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense, because if the giants were created in ancient Mesopotamia and that's where they conquered and ruled it, they ruled everywhere. But then it makes sense that wherever they would be under the ground over there. It does to me. Makes perfect sense, right? Anyway, so there's that. You guys can finish that story. I'm gonna go find me some food. I might get back on here in about an hour or two. We gonna see what all I got to do first. What day is it? Tuesday? Wednesday? It's Wednesday. I thought it was Tuesday. Okay. Because we've been on here almost 3 hours. So I'm gonna give y'all a break. But hopefully you learned something today, and hopefully you're paying attention that the things that happened right before Noah's days, before the flood, is happening right now. People are not listening. They don't want to hear it. It's ruining their mood. They don't want to prepare. I don't really care. And like Noah, I'm just stacking my little stuff away because I believe God. He said he about to kill everybody. Fine. I believe you that. You don't have to keep telling me every day, but I'll keep telling them. I'm going to keep telling them. I'm going to keep telling them. Every day. It said day in and day out. Day in and day out. Day in for 120 years. Him and his daddy said the flood is coming. The flood is coming. The flood is coming. And people was throwing food at him, talking crazy, laughing, getting drunk, turning up. We don't care. Nigga, we don't care. You hear me? And he said, okay. But if you went and watched that documentary on Amazon Prime, Noah, in the days of Noah, change your whole understanding. If you're a visual learner, if you're a visual learner, you need to go and watch Noah, the days of Noah, not the movie, the documentary on Prime, baby. It'll change your whole understanding. I ain't watched the other 3, but that one that I seen, I said, ooh, right here, there it is, all right there. It was good. You saw it, Bonnie? Real good. My old grocery manager said one time, he's not doing bad for a guy who stacks cans for a living. Sounds too accurate now for us. Listen. Show your kids. Help them understand. About to watch it now. Listen, it's going to change your whole. Pay attention to the cartoon part of it. Look with your eyes. The real ones. Yeah. I'm trying to tell you. Y'all got to use y'all ears and listen, because I do not like repeating myself. I just said on Prime 3 times. Y'all got to listen, because I don't keep repeating myself. If you ever miss it, you can go back and watch the rewatch. I love y'all, because everybody going to come in at a different time. It's on Prime. See y'all later. I'm about to go eat. I feel myself getting grouchy.